Alright, okay, welcome back to the recording session. And as mentioned, today we are going to be doing the vocals. Hazim, right, from Violet Remains is out there, right? He's already set up. We've already set up the microphones and the vocal booth and the monitoring and all that lah. So everything is pretty much ready to go. So just a quick highlight, a quick note. The mic that we're using, okay, is the Vanguard V4. So the distributor for the people from Vanguard were very, very kind enough to loan us this microphone. It is, of course, a FET microphone, which means it's a solid state microphone. So we're going to try it out, and it's fresh out of the box. It's a brand new microphone from a very, very new microphone company. So we'll try it out and see how it sounds, okay? First of all, what we're going to do is let's maybe take a quick listen, all right, to the song, or what we have from last week after the guitars, okay? So I did mute some of the parts. Like, I think, I think Hazib did do one guitar line, which I felt didn't really work, right? So it was more like a background thing anyway, but at this point, I've kind of muted it. So let's just take a quick listen, all right? Now, when it comes to vocals, right, recording vocals, there are several approaches and there are several methods and there are several techniques lah. So it boils down to knowing the singer, knowing the vocalist, right, and knowing what sort of style or what they're best suited to. Now, one thing very important when it comes to vocals, and I mentioned earlier, right, in one of the topics, right, you want to work fast, especially with vocals. You don't want to wear out. You don't want to tire out the vocalist. So in fact, even the act of me kind of explaining all these kind of things right now, okay, is really kind of slowing, because the vocalists have to wait, wondering what we're doing in here, okay, right? So, right, in a normal situation, obviously this is not going to be it lah. We try to work as fast as possible when it comes to vocals, because firstly, you don't want to tire the vocalist out. You don't want the vocalist to be there waiting, standing, and all that, okay? So there are a few ways of doing it. There's one approach, okay, is that you can get the vocalist to do the whole song if you want to, all right? Do a whole song and then come back and maybe just repair and punch in certain takes and certain sections. That's one method. That's one technique of doing things. And there are some singers, some of the more older ones who are a lot more used to this kind of style. They rather do everything in one take, because sometimes they for them it's easier for them to feel the dynamics of the song as it goes on. They will increase and build their dynamics this way. Okay, but it's actually increasingly much more common nowadays that we focus on section by section, part by part, that we record the vocals part by part. So for example, we'll do maybe just the first verse, right? And then maybe jump to second verse. Maybe don't even do the chorus yet, all right? Then only we move back towards the chorus. So there are many, many ways of doing it. So what we're going to do is, I actually kind of briefed Azim already. So my approach and my technique and style is, I'll get the singer and vocalist to just do one take first, right? Before this already, all right, I already made sure, and of course, the singer Hazim needs to get good rest before that. Basic stuff like getting enough sleep the day before, right? Taking care of the diet, even some of these basic things. With vocalists, it's they're a lot more sensitive, because vocals, you are dealing with a part of your human body, a muscle. It's not like a guitar or instrument, right, where you just tune and then you're good to go. You need to be well rested. Vocals need to be well rested. You need to eat well. You need to drink enough water, right? You don't want to eat spicy food or anything that's too heavy. After you get sick or you end up having to go to the toilet, worst. Okay, So these are basic common things when you're working with vocals. So we're gonna do just one take as a warm-up first. I will use it visually as a guide as well. So I know, okay, right, this is with the part where it's coming from and all that, okay? So as I mentioned, that's a Vanguard V4. And what we're going to go through is we are actually sending and feeding it through down here, right? This is the Universal Audio LA610 Mark II. That's the full name lah, okay? All right. So this is actually a combination. It's a preamp and a compressor. That's why it's called a channel strip. So the input, the preamp is from the Universal Audio 610 preamp, right? It's derived from their consoles, but the compressor is taken from the LA2A section, right? So it uses the T4. LA2A is a type of an optical compressor, right? It's also another very, very highly sought after classic piece of hardware equipment. So these are actually two units in one, preamp and a compressor in one channel strip. So as being a condenser mic, 48 volts phantom power. And the EQ in this case, I'm leaving it flat on this preamp because it does have a high and a low shaft. And I'm only putting a touch of compression. So I guess even on some of the loud parts, we're gonna get only 6 or 7 dB. But mostly whenever let's say Hazim is singing in the verses, there's barely any compression going on. It depends on, obviously, on what you have or what you have available. Now, if you don't have a compressor, that's perfectly fine, right? It's more than good enough, right, to just record straight, right, and just get levels without a compressor. Just make sure, be careful not to clip the input as usual, right? Making sure that, I'm kind of hovering on minus 18, a little bit higher, slightly more than that. I don't mind going a little bit hotter with vocals, okay? With vocals, I can go a little bit hotter. So maybe sometimes you will see my input meter kind of going up, maybe up to minus 12 or something like that. But as long as it doesn't clip, it's fine. There's some things where recording with compression will benefit the source. And one of it is the vocal, definitely, right? So with drums, you see, I use no compression at all. I would rather record it without. Bass, guitar I also recorded without compression. But vocals, I feel it's one of the areas where some compression will help. There are some people who rather keep it without processing. They want, again, record without compressor and then they can deal with it later. But for me, I really prefer the sound and the kind of the color and the texture that a compressor adds. Okay? Now, again, if you don't have one or if you can't afford one because a good compressor is not exactly cheap, okay? No worries, you can always do it without. Now, the details of how to use the compressors and all that, we'll go a little bit more detail next week. Okay? Right, that's going to be the next topic that I'm going to be covering. Just so you know, I'm recording with a little bit of compression. Okay? Just a little bit, only on the loud peaks. So, let's get Hazim to do just one warm-up take, okay? Okay, so let's do like one warm-up take, right? From start to end, just as if you're doing it live, okay? But don't over-push, don't overstrain, okay? And that's very important. When you're doing the warm-up, don't ask the singer to overstrain. If there are some songs which involve like very high parts, or maybe some parts they need to scream or something like that, for the practice take, just ask them to take it easy first, okay? You don't want them to to blow out their voice so soon. Okay? They need to use this as a warm-up. All right, so headphone mix is all good just now, right? We checked already. Yeah, your vocal, your music is all good. So let's just go all the way through. Right, take one, practice take. Okay, now with the practice take, as I mentioned earlier, always record. Always record, no matter if it's a practice take or whatsoever, because you never know. Sometimes you will catch something special. Let's check it out, okay? Okay, I'm going to solo his voice, right? He's on another separate monitoring path, so he can still hear the music. Because I think I'm hearing a bit of saturation. Yeah, I just bring the input gain down a little bit, the compression just a little bit more, a tiny touch more lah, and the output gain just turn down a little bit. All right, sounding good, okay? Okay, so just double check again, you are comfortable, your headphone mix is all good, yeah? Vocal and all that. So maybe one thing I want to sort of check is during the bridge, no, not the bridge, like the quiet chorus, right? With the attacks. I'm gonna send you the click track, right? Because I think it helps, right? Yeah, if I send it there. So I'm gonna send it to you and then check and see whether it's loud enough lah. You don't want to be too loud, because it's too loud, it might leak into out of your headphones. All right, let me just play that part for you. Okay. Okay, as usual, solo it. It's a good idea if you are playing with click, right? Solo it, check and make sure that there's no click track bleeding into the mic. We're just double checking, yeah? Okay, I also had to check to make sure that the click track is not going to be bleeding out of headphones and then into the mic, okay? That's very important. So you have to make sure, this kind of thing you have to check first. So if you can just solo the vocal, you have a way of soloing the vocal, just monitor only the microphone input, right? Make sure that the click track is not going to be bleeding into it. Because if it's in there, susah lah. Life is going to be difficult, okay? But to be honest, right, actually nowadays we have spectral editing. Spectral editors is a lot more powerful, right? And it's not something I covered in here, right? But maybe it's something I can always explore. Okay, so now what we're going to do is let's go to first verse. We'll do maybe a couple of takes here, right? So we just do each section one by one lah. So I'm going to go back, all right? And now we're going to do maybe the verse, first of all. Right, okay. Take one for the verse, okay? Stand by. Okay, turn off the click here. 2, 3, 4. All right, okay, right, that's good. All right, really good. Just to carry on for me, just maybe don't drag too long because you gotta bear in mind you're coming into the chorus, right? But other than that's good. Let's go for another take. This time around, I'll kind of only roll for maybe 4 bars, so don't have to do the entire whole intro lah. Okay, so this will be bar 15. Okay, rolling, take 2. Here we go. So Cubase and most DAWs will automatically create the additional lanes. So when you do multiple takes, instead of having to record on different tracks, it's all on the same track, the same channel. You will just see the different lanes lah. Okay, rolling, take 2. One, 2, 3, 4. All right, okay. Pre-chorus is good, really nice. Length and everything is really nice as well, okay? Just maybe the coming in the verse is kind of a little, because you're a little bit softer, I think maybe you can actually push it a little bit further, is it? You can sort of push your vocal a little bit lah. I know that the feel of the verse is supposed to be softer, but it sounds a little too light, too gentle. Yeah, so can push slightly further a bit, slightly stronger, okay? Let's go for another take. Take 3, rolling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, okay. Okay, cool, yeah. Well, I was expecting you to go to the pre-chorus as well. But that's fine, it's okay. Right, can we do one more? Okay, we'll do like a couple of takes lah, and then later we'll just comp together something. Okay, sounding good. All right, let's go for take 3.5. Okay, here we go, yeah? This sounds like the best one so far. When he gets to the higher register, he's got no problem. All right. Sounding better with each take, man. This is like the best one so far. Just give me a second. Let me take a listen to it, and then we'll go on with maybe another 1 or 2 takes and see. Okay, let me just listen back to it. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that just now, I think that was the best take so far, right? But I think maybe we'll give a try, maybe another couple more takes lah. Okay. So let's take a listen back to that. Okay. All right. Hey Azim, so that was the best take so far, right? Really, really good. As you kind of keep going, you're doing more, it sounds better, right? So, but first, let me just take a listen to this one first. So you also take a listen, right? And then we'll see lah, right? Whether after that we'll do maybe one or two and see whether we can sort of better it. Pre-chorus is really good already. I've got a very, very good pre-chorus. In fact, I think the second one that you did was very good already. That sounded like perfect. Everything was there. So let's just take a listen to this first, yeah? Okay. All right. So let's play this back. What I do is I'm going to show you. I've always liked to, when it comes to vocals, I will always I love to hear how it's going to sound in context already with processing. So with digital, as I mentioned right earlier, before, you kind of sometimes mix as you go along, because inside a DAW you can always load in whatever plugins you want. Like I mentioned, you see the bass, I've already run it to compression, right? Okay, I'm already running that to compression. Guitars, a little bit of EQ, right? With distortion guitars, you don't need much EQ lah. But with vocals, I always love to hear it with not only the compression, but also with a little bit of effects, right? So when you play back also, okay, it sounds nice. I really would know how it should sit and it should sound in the mix already. So here's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm gonna load up this preset here. Okay, I have a very simple preset for vocals, right? Which is called Para, right? Para here stands for parallel processing. So what I have here, okay, is very simple, essentially. Now, this is just a very stripped down version of what I will do later in the mix next week when we go into mixing. But what I have over here is this is a virtual tape machine by Slate Digital. So I'm simulating as if I'm running it and recording it on analog tape. Going into the virtual mix rack. So virtual mix rack here is, again, I won't explain so much of it, right? It's kind of simulating running through a channel of an analog console, then into the preamp, okay? But the important thing is, what I have over here is I have this is the FG stress. So this is a model of a compressor that's known as the distressor, okay, by this company called Untitled Labs. So what this is doing is that it's doing a parallel compression, okay? Now very quickly, parallel compression here means that you have one signal, which is, you are combining two signals. One is your raw, clean, unprocessed, uncompressed signal. Then you duplicate, you have another exactly the same signal, but you compress it very heavily, okay? So it's very heavily compressed. You hear that it's super, super compressed, but then you blend it in. So it's a way of compression which is very, very transparent, very, very natural. You still have the natural dynamics of the original uncompressed signal, but you have the very, very controlled, tight, fat, sound of the compressed vocal. Then you blend it in together. So I usually have it this default kind of preset is at 50-50, 50% uncompressed, 50% parallel. I have the parallel compressed in. So let's kind of listen and set a level for it, okay? All right. So let's listen back to this take, which was kind of take 4. Was kind of the best one. I might even reduce it a little bit, right? Maybe instead of 50-50, bring it to about 40%. Yeah, better, because when it's not 50%, when it was in the pre-chorus, it kind of a bit squashed it a bit too much. So we put it at about 50%. Okay, so now, okay, let me put it up on this screen so you guys can see. It's easier for you to see. So this vocal track is being sent to the lead vocal group, right, or bus. So what this does is I am sending all the lead vocals and sending it to another group, so which I can control. So again, I'll explain this a little bit more when we cover mixing next week. But now I'm going to send in and just put in a little bit of some bit of effects, okay? Just a little bit of delay, a little bit of reverb, and some room just to sort of know how it sounds, okay?
Is there nothing left to drown? Oh, the vacant streets in your eyes fill the nights with bright lights, and moments filled with city sounds. That's all I can say, 'cause you got nothing to lose, so run away. Will you carry on for me?
Okay, right. Let me just kind of, again, I want to put it in context first. I want to already know that we can get the end result that we are going for. And the reason why I want to do that, okay, especially with the bass, with the guitars, when I did last week, I want to know that I'm not going to be recording all of this, and then later in the mix I find out, I can't work with it lah. It's like, I should have recorded it better. I want to work this, spend a little bit of time on this. Put in the effects, just put in the processing and see whether it's gonna react properly. It's more of, you take a little bit more time here at this stage so that you don't right waste more time later lah. Right? You find out that it's not suitable. Recording technique was not right, mic positioning was wrong, or here and or whatever problems that could have resulted lah because of that. Okay, so a bit of high pass filter. Because just now I was hearing quite a lot of sub-frequency coming from the vocal track. So let me solo it.
Oh, the vacant streets in your eyes fill the nights with bright lights.
Okay, very, very cool. Now, one more thing which I'm going to do, and this can sometimes be a, I would say maybe a time saver. Sometimes what I will do is I will slap on maybe a pitch correction plugin, right? Now, there's pros and cons of doing this lah. So number one, if if you're getting a little bit, because here I like Hazim's feel. The feel is great, right? His tone and timing, everything is great. Just a little bit off pitch. So these kind of things which I know the feel is good, the emotion is there, but the pitch is just slightly off. I can always deal with it later in production lah, okay? In the post-production, in editing, which actually I'll show you afterwards, after we record the track, okay? But sometimes it can be helpful, right? To maybe when you're listening and playing back, maybe just put in a pitch correction plugin. So of course there's Auto-Tune, which is from Antares. There, most DAWs nowadays also have their kind of own pitch correction already. Some of them very, very basic. But the very basic ones sometimes don't sound too good. The sound quality is not so good. You can hear it working. But Auto-Tune obviously is one of the most transparent ones. But here's another one that's very, very good that I'm going to put in as well. This is actually Waves. Waves also has their own pitch correction called Waves Tune. I'm just going to put a little bit only, right? So very light, very, very gentle, just to know that, it's something that I can that can be dealt with lah. So this is Waves Tune, right? Real time mono. I'm going to load, let's say, natural correction. Okay, so this is kind of the gives you the most, right? It's not so, the speed is a little bit slower, and the note transition is a bit more gentle. So this song was in C sharp major or D flat major. Okay, so let's put to major scale and let's listen to it, all right? Speed, maybe I'll bring it up to 15 milliseconds, right? Because 10 can be a little bit fast. Let's put up to 50, right? A little bit slower, because I just want it to be very, very, very gentle. Okay. All right. Hey, I'm just going to listen back to this take here, okay, for another round. Okay.
Cigarettes you light up, burn the skies you fight for. Is there nothing left to drown? Oh, the vacant streets in your eyes fill the nights with bright lights, and moments filled with city sound.
On the bright lights was a little bit iffy, but it's not something major.
Got nothing to lose, so run away. You carry on for me.
Okay, right. Journey, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so that, and to sort of save time is some time-saving measure sometimes, all right? And again, like, it's your own call, all right, whether you want to do it or not. But now in this case, just to kind of have sort of a time-saving measure, we're going to put that in. So I know that, hey, this take, it's okay. Maybe I just need to tweak a little bit, you know, right? Because the feel is good, emotion is good, right? But let's get how to do maybe one or two more, right? Just for safety. All right, man. Sounding good. Okay. But maybe let's do one or two more takes, right? So what we're gonna do is let's see whether you can beat this one, all right? Because this is good, this is the best one so far. But who knows? Maybe I'll do better, right? Okay. Here we go. Take this would be take 5, I think. Here we go. Okay, recording. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, okay, right. I like some bits in the verse, okay? There's some good parts I can use in that. Let's just do one more. So here, I think I just like one line from the second, but the previous take's definitely better lah, okay? Right? So this is, we'll see whether, you know, most singers always reach a certain peak. Then if you get after a certain point, right, it doesn't get any better, doesn't improve, then you have to know where to stop lah, okay? Right? So, okay, let's do one last one, okay? Here we go. Intro is okay. Really good as well, okay? All right. So, maybe what you want to do is you can take like maybe a 5 minutes. You got a chair for you or something like that. You know, take a seat first. Because what I'm doing is I want to sort of comb through this vocal first, okay? Then only we move to the chorus lah. So what I have here is we've already got, okay? I would consider this like 5 complete takes lah of the vocal, plus another one extra there. So at this stage of time, you know, let the vocalist take a break or something like that, and let's go and comp, right? Comp to the vocal. So let me show you how we do comping, okay? So you hear the word comping, right? Comping actually stands for, all right, composite, okay? Now, if you read in some articles, there are some people who have different meanings. Some people say that it's short for compiled, right? But as far as I know, as far as I understand it, my very, very first understanding of what, when you say you comp a vocal track or you comp a guitar solo together, it's composite. Because that's what it exactly means. You're compositing a vocal take from different tracks. As you can see, So within one channel here, you have different lanes. Okay, so here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 lanes, right, of vocals. So what we're going to do first of all is let's listen to all these takes one by one lah. Okay, now let me just trim this all nicely first. Okay, I am a little bit, OCD when it comes to this kind of things. Okay, let's trim this nicely so it looks nice and neat. And let's listen to first take, okay? So let me select this. This with the first take. Let's listen to it. Let's compare. First take, I did mention earlier to Hazim, first 2 takes, I think he was a little too light. So when it's too light, it feels a bit weak. It's like a bit sleepy, you know. But when you get pre-chorus, it's more energetic, it's okay already. Okay, but then this me a bit too long, it's gonna kind of overlap into the chorus, right? So I guess not the first take lah, okay? Now let's go to the second one. Now, okay, different producers will have different ways of working it. We're working with this. Some will have their lyric and then they will do like a little chart, have a little lyric sheet. Some will be even more complicated, right? They have like a chart, each line one by one, each line. Then they make a mark. Take 1 from take 1, take 2, this line from take 3 or something like that. There's some producers who will do that lah, okay? For me, I pretty much, kind of worked with these guys so long already, so for quite a while, so I know the song really well. I kind of take mental notes for myself. Now, this is for me lah, right? I work that way. I take mental notes and I can always kind of remember, right? Oh, which take from something, there was something from here, something from there. Mentally, somehow I can remember. But if you are not sure that you can mentally remember and take all these notes, don't worry. Take a piece of paper with the lyric sheet, take your notes down. Okay, this line, or you underline, or whatever method you want to do, man. You want to take a color marker, highlighter, highlight, right? You have your own different styles of doing it, but it's always good to take notes while you're doing this lah. So that was first take. Let's listen to second take, okay? Second take, I like the pre-chorus. Let's listen to it. Still a bit too light in the verse, okay, right? But the drown is nice. I like the drown there. Because I like his little vocal thing doing there. Still too soft, too light. I like this pre-chorus, right? So far, I think that's the best. Okay, let's listen to take 3, which was kind of only half the take. Okay, let's listen. Not bad. Okay, alright. So I like the front part up to your eyes. Okay, so I'm just gonna make a mental note. That's gonna just trim it out there. Now, if you are super confident, if you know that you're not gonna do the take, delete it lah. Otherwise, sometimes you end up with too much information until you also get confused. It's like, oh man, there's too many tracks, too many takes to keep track of. Okay. Unless you have an engineer or an assistant to really take the notes down for you lah, okay? But okay, let's carry out the first take, okay? Because I know that's not really what we're looking for lah, okay? Okay, here's not too bad. Let's listen. Let's jump over to take 4. Okay, I still think the take 2 pre-chorus is better, but the verse could be questionable. Let's take a listen, okay? I still prefer the second pre-chorus, the number 2, but I like the entry line from this take. Okay, let's listen to last take and see. Second half is not bad. Oh, hold on. This is actually supposed to be this one. But I can't already know. Second one is the best. Right, okay, cool. So now, pre-chorus, we already know lah, alright. For me, I already determined. For me, the second one's the best already. So now it's just a question of, let's try to find the best comp that we can comp together from the verse. So now we'll go a little bit more detail. We'll go line by line. Okay, so first one let me do is let me clean up the track. Okay, so clean up track here, meaning that, so let's just bring everything up here. So now what we want to do is we want to, edit and chop this up into the different segments. So let me highlight all this. So let's just roughly chop it up. So every line, okay, let's do a, okay, let me put this exactly on one so it's easier. And then we'll go in a little bit more detail. Okay. All right. So let's start with first line. Okay. Okay, let me turn it up a little bit so it's a bit louder. Okay. Okay, I like this. It's not bad. Here, tempo a bit suspect. This was too light. Too light. Yeah, to me this is a favorite. I like this line the most. Okay, so let's move on. Next line. All right. So you can comp it. You can either go line by line. Sometimes you can go even as detailed as down to word by word. But you always have to check and make sure that, okay, that there is the continuity there. It doesn't sound like it's the tone change. You need to pay attention to this thing. The tone, the mood, the feel. It should sound in the end still sound like it's done in one take, you see. Now, how many of you guys never aware, right? Has anyone here who has never known that this is how they do it? So, you know, this is really has now blown away the whole mystical figure of your favorite singers and your favorite artists. We may think that, oh wow, the vocal was awesome, but they also have gone through this kind of process very, very most likely, right? With modern recording, modern production, it's not done in one take. When they may have done many takes, and then the producer will have sit down and comped and pick the best vocal take out of it. So, you know, yeah. So even your favorite best singers out there also, this is what they do lah. Okay? Okay. Let's go with the second line, all right? Okay, let's go next one.
Cigarettes you light up, burn the skies you fight for.
Not bad.
Cigarettes you light up, burn the skies you fight for.
No, not number 3. Okay, definitely not number 3.
Cigarettes you light up, burn the skies you fight for.
Okay, number 5.
Cigarettes you light up, burn the skies you fight for.
Okay, so for me it's a toss-up between number 2 or 5.
Cigarettes you light up, burn the skies you fight for.
Okay, let's listen to number 5.
Burn the skies you fight for.
Okay, so here I actually like the Burn the Skies from take 2.
Burn the skies you fight for.
But then the You Fight For, I prefer it from the last take. So let's do we comp it even further. Let's chop it up. So we can even do up to one word. Sometimes down to the syllable also, right? Down to the suku kata also. Sometimes we can do that sometimes, right? Now you can take it a little bit further to extreme, and some producers will do. Sometimes even down to the breathing. Sometimes they will say, hey, this breathing here doesn't sound good. Can we edit this breath here to make it sound better? You know? So sometimes there are some that will go really detailed that way. Okay?
Cigarettes you light up, burn the skies you fight for. Is there nothing left to drown?
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I like it. Right, so let's listen to the next line. Right? Let's go
Burn the skies you fight for. Is there nothing left to drown?
That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. This was from a quieter take, but that was from take 2, but I liked the feel of that.
Burn the skies you fight for. Is there nothing left to drown?
Not bad.
Burn the skies you fight
Lane 3.
for. Is there nothing left to drown?
Not bad. Okay.
Burn the skies you fight for. Is there nothing left to drown?
Oh, but here the drown didn't do down. So it's like, okay. Okay.
Burn the skies you fight for.
Take 5.
Is there nothing left to drown?
Okay, right. So this was nice, except there was no drown there. Okay, so, but the first one is a little bit soft. Let's listen to that.
Burn the skies you fight for. Is there nothing left to drown? Burn the skies you fight for. Is there nothing left to drown?
Okay, so number 1 or number 4?
Burn the skies you fight for. Is there nothing left to drown?
I like the to drown from lane 1, okay? And the reason behind it, right, is something that it's a literary term that's called prosody, right? I'll just briefly say what it means lah. So sometimes you want to choose a word or a lyric or something that best reflects the meaning, right? The meaning or the emotion of the word. So I like the to drown that's from lane 1, because to drown, you see, that over there it's like a little bit weak. It's like to drown, you see. For me, that gives the feeling of kind of drowning, or you know, the singer, right, is or the words there, the lyrics trying to convey that meaning of feeling helpless, feeling weak, right? So not to say that the rest is not bad, okay? The to drown from take 4 is also good, but it's a little bit more stronger. So if I want to emphasize that feeling, the emotion of hopelessness, the sadness, right, I go for one which sounds a little bit more sadder lah. So let's comb this together, right? So I'm going to take the.
Is there nothing left to drown?
So I take the to drown from the first take. So let's comb this now. Again, very important. Listen in context. Let's listen to this.
Cigarettes you light up, burn the skies you fight for. Is there nothing left to drown? Oh.
Yeah, I like it, right? So I like it. So same thing, let's repeat. We've got a couple more lines to go. Let's listen to the ad-lib, okay? Okay, L26. That's nice. Number 4 is also very good. Number 5 is also cool. Okay, now, to help me make the decision, I play from earlier.
Is there nothing left to drown?
That's nice. 4 or 5.
Is there nothing left to drown? Is there nothing left to drown?
So, I'm a little bit torn between 4 and 5. So number 4 is stronger. Vocally, technique-wise, that's better, right? It's better. 5 is a little bit more softer and technique-wise, you would say is weak, but then emotionally, I have to consider and see, do I want to do I want to sort of still have that feeling of drowning, of dying, of hopelessness, or what lah, okay? So I have to keep this in mind first, all right? Set it, but don't forget it, all right? Keep this in mind, move forward, and then pick later. It's not necessarily you have to settle on this decision. Maybe you want to listen to the overall, take this whole verse, then we move back and see which is more appropriate. Okay, so moving on, okay? Next line. Okay, so that is a bit too soft, okay? That's nice, okay? It's very nice also. This is a bit mumbled, not clear. Okay, I'm just gonna choose this first, but let's move on. Okay, this one maybe I choose a stronger one first lah. Okay, move on to the next line. Okay, we know already. This one definitely cannot use because it's now doesn't fit. Okay, these are all too soft. So either in this case, mute the track, right? Or if you want to commit, hey, delete. Okay, we know we're not going to use it, delete it. Okay. Okay, that's a bit shaky. Okay, that's better. Okay, let's listen to that. Maybe this one. Okay, there's a bit of disjointedness within this line, so maybe this is where we might need later on. I need Hazim to retake that line lah. Okay, right? Okay, so let's move on first. Okay, let's pick this one. I like the city sound. I would rather the sounds that he keep it straight, because on the drown he already did the drown. So on sounds, right, instead of repeating the same pattern, same line, keep it different. City sounds, okay? Something a little bit different. Okay, now listen back to this. Let's see where I need to comp, okay? Okay, Vacant Streets now sounds too strong. listening again.
Burn the skies you fight for. Is there nothing left to drown? Oh, the vacant streets in your eyes fill the nights with bright lights. Moments filled with city sound. Fill the nights with bright lights.
Okay, this sounds again, I think this was from the just now earlier that was take number 4, right? Generally, these were all take 4, right? Okay, it was from take number 4, which I felt was the best overall. But let's listen to it. Let's compile and see.
Oh, the vacant streets in your eyes fill the nights with bright lights.
Here's a bit of pitchiness, but the feel is good.
Fill the nights with bright lights.
Okay, doesn't fit already, okay? Because here the bright lights is a bit too loud, too strong.
In your eyes fill the nights with bright lights. Moments filled with city sounds.
Okay, moments fill.
Moments filled with city.
Okay, let's take the moments filled with city sounds. We take from lane 4. Okay, check it out.
Bright lights and moments filled with city sound. Fill
Let's try another alternate. Let's take from lane 3.
the nights with bright lights and moments filled with city sound.
Again, you see, it's a bit too strong, so kind of left with this one option. But I feel that these last 2 lines could be a little bit better. So this is where let's get Hazim to maybe do a punch in a few takes lah. Okay, right. Okay, so let me just organize this one more time. Let's clean up the lanes, or actually we can just leave it here like that. That's fine. Okay, all right. Let's see, where is Hazim. Hey, hello. Hi there, Hazim. Okay, sounding good. We were going through all the comps. We were compiling and compositing the best takes. You could hear it, right? Well, what we were doing just now, right? So everything's good. Maybe just the last 2 lines. That means from here,
Fill the nights with bright lights.
the last 2 lines. Fill the nights with bright lights. Okay, right. The last 2 lines. Fill the nights until,
Moments filled with city sounds.
right? Moments fill the city sounds. Okay, so just that. Okay, maybe we could try do a couple more takes of those 2 lines. Right. One thing to point out, the city sounds. I would like you to do this. The city sounds, the straight one, because with drown you already did drown. So sounds, keep it straight lah. So it's not the exact same line. You see. Okay. So I'll run a couple of bars before that. You sing along. Okay. Sing along, and then we will just punch in those last 2 lines. Okay. Okay. Starting from around here. Okay, maybe a little bit further in front, just 1 line further in front. Okay, all right, I'll start from here.
Is there nothing left to drown?
Okay, so you sing along after that, yeah? So with vocals, all right, it's very important to always ask vocalists to sing along, right? Because you want to maintain the tone, the feel, and everything. It's a lot harder for vocalists to just start it quiet, sunny, and then jump in like that. It's very hard on it. So sometimes it's easier to maintain the pitch, to maintain the tone, right? It's better to get them to sing along first, then pop, you punch in on the line, okay? Okay, Hazim, so let's punch in those 2 lines. So remember on the last word, just keep it on the sound, city sounds. Keep it straight lah. City sounds, right? It was one straight one. Okay, I'm gonna play you from a couple of bars earlier, so sing along lah, yeah? Okay? So we get them to sing along, get a vocalist to sing along so that the tone, so that the pitching, the dynamics, everything will be a little bit more consistent. Because it's a lot harder to just jump in like that. So if you get the singer to sing along, it's easier, a little bit more consistent. Okay, let's go for it. Here we go.
Is there nothing left to drown? Oh, the vacant streets in your eyes. Fill the nights with bright lights. Moments filled with city sound.
Okay, right. Okay, entry is good. City sounds is a bit too hard. Yeah, because you were a little bit too, I think, too focused. So to focus also is not doing. Ease up a little bit lighter. City sounds, because the previous one was good, right? The sounds I really like it. It was light. Okay, let's do another one and see. Okay.
Is there nothing left to drown? Oh, the vacant streets in your eyes.
Okay, good. I think we got it, right? Let me just comp this together. Okay, I like that. First line we'll take from the previous take.
Fill the nights with bright lights, the moments filled with city sounds. Fill the nights with bright lights, the noise. Fill the nights with bright lights, the moments filled with
Compare, huh?
eyes. Fill the nights with bright lights, the vacant streets in your eyes. Fill the nights with bright lights, the moments filled with city sounds.
Okay, cool. All right. Sounds good. Let's take a listen again. Right. Just listening, right, to the whole verse here, but I think we got it. Okay. Okay, listening.
Cigarettes you light up, burn the skies you fight for. Is there nothing left to drown? Oh, the vacant streets in your eyes. Fill the nights with bright lights, the moments filled with city sounds. And all I can say is you got nothing to lose, so run away. Will you carry on for me?
Okay, just one more thing. I maybe want to check the word bright lights, yeah?
Fill the nights with bright lights, the vacant streets in your eyes. Fill the nights with bright lights, the noise. Fill the nights with bright lights,
Okay, all right. So the bright lights, I only like the lights. So we're gonna have to do a bit of crossfading and let's see how it turns out lah. Okay, I need the lights from this take. Now this may or may not work, so it depends. When there's no way to know. Okay. So sometimes I get questions from people I'm working with or recording, right? They say like, "Oh, how is it going to sound?" Huh? I said, "I don't know." You have to try it and see, right? And there's a lot. It's really a lot of things. It can be talking about guitar parts or anything like that. Sometimes you get a question like, how is it going to sound, right? I think it's a bit too arrogant for you to say and straight away say that, it's not going to sound good, or something like that. Straight away you shoot down the idea already, especially if you're working with an artist. He said, because there's no way of knowing. They said, let's try it and see how it sounds, right? So let's try this, whatever it is. Like in this case, I'm trying to edit together a word, right? Okay, so do it, try it, see how it sounds. If it's bad, it's going to, obviously you already know it's going to sound bad already. Same goes with recording lah. Let the musician, let the singer try something. Okay, there's no way of you knowing whether it's going to sound good or not. Okay, you have to do it, listen back to it, then you know whether it sounds good. Okay, let's listen to this, see whether this edit sounds okay.
fill the nights with bright lights.
Yeah, okay, safe. Okay, all right. Right. Of course, with experience, sometimes you kind of know, maybe in the back of your head, you kind of know it'll work. But still, let's try it. You never know. See? Okay. Let me listen to it. Just listening one more time, yeah? Okay.
Cigarettes you light up, burn the skies you fight for. Is there nothing left to drown? Oh, the vacant streets in your eyes. Fill the nights with bright lights, the moments filled with city sounds.
Okay, cool, right? The reason why I like the lights is because it sounds consistent with the previous word, all right? the your eyes and the bright lights. Okay, his vowel sounds more consistent. So it's again, it sounds like it's more of one take lah. Okay, even though actually it's not.
Fill the nights with bright lights, the moments filled with city sounds. It's all I can say. You got nothing to lose, so run away. Will you carry on for me?
All right, okay. All right, so let's go into the chorus now. All right. So same thing. Let's do a couple of takes. Be okay, right? You're not like feeling any tired or anything like that. So it's always good to check. Make sure the vocalist is always comfortable. If they need a break, let them have a break. Make sure they have their, as I explained earlier, in the in doing the slides. Find whatever way make them comfortable. Let them have a comfortable surrounding first, lah. Okay. Let's go for the chorus. Okay. Stand by. Coming out of the pre-chorus. Okay, chorus, take one.
It's all I can say. You got nothing to lose, so run away. Will you carry on for me?
All right, okay, sounding good. I guess 2 points. I think maybe I need you to kind of sing along the very last line. Your headphones okay? A little loose? Oh, okay. It's fine, right? Okay, if you need any help with that, you just let them know, okay? All right. Just sing along, I think, the last bit, right? Right? Because when you kind of come in, the tone is a bit different. Right? And maybe if there's just one thing to point out is the word side, right? This liner, let me play it for you.
Promise will make its way inside.
Yeah, make its way inside, right? In time. Oh, that's why it sounds like side. Okay. There was a little bit not very clear. So there you just make that one clear. Okay. Now, just that one word there needs to be a little bit clearer, lah, right? Because I know in time, right? Sometimes when you link the words together, so it sounds in here, it sounds like inside, bro. Okay, right. So, but having said that, look, I give you a very good example. What's the band? What's the band? There's one band which is like really when they sing, the pronunciation is really off one. What's the band's name? I'm trying to think of one. American band. It's like a pop punk emo band one. Fall Out Boy. Yes. Okay. I was giving an example of some American bands like Fall Out Boy. With the sugar and going down, the pronunciation is like you can't make out what he's singing. And sometimes it's like what is he saying, right? So you mishear the lyrics sometimes. So okay, let's go for it again. Just kind of sing along maybe the last line of the pre-chorus now, so you get a more consistent tone that way. Okay, let's go for it. Okay.
It's all I can say. You got nothing to lose, so run away.
Ready.
You carry on for me.
All right. Okay. Much better. Much better. Okay. So maybe we'll do a couple more takes. Just the in vain. Maybe I guess keep it a little bit shorter, right? Because you got to think about maybe going into the second verse, right? And that's good. Okay. I'll run it a little bit shorter now. 4 bars only. Okay. Take 2.
So run away. Will you carry
right. Okay. That's good. That's a good one as well. Okay. You reckon you could do maybe like two more? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. All right.
So run away. Will you carry on for me?
All right. Okay. Okay. Let me listen back to these takes and we'll see. Okay. All right. Okay. Take a break.
Will you carry on for me? The trust will lapse inside, will make its way inside. I promise we'll be on the other side. The hope we leave today will never burn away. I'll never leave you all alone in vain.
Okay. Let's listen back to first take.
Will you carry on for me? Trust will lapse inside, will make its way inside. I promise we'll be on the other side. The hope we leave today will never burn away. I'll never leave you all alone in vain.
Okay. Right. Pretty good. So take a break for a while. Yeah. So let's just maybe compile this. There's already good takes out of this. That is just only one or two bits or one or two lines which I feel we need to comp here and there.
Trust will lapse inside.
So let's listen to this. I kind of think this would be the best first line already.
Trust will lapse inside.
This is not bad.
Trust will lapse inside.
Here you can hear the voice is kind of cracking a bit. All right. So let's keep this.
Trust will lapse inside, will make its way inside. Will make its way inside.
I actually generally like this first take on top.
Trust will lapse inside, will make its way inside. Trust will lapse inside.
Okay.
Will make its way inside. I promise we'll be on the other side.
Okay. Let's listen to this first line.
Trust will lapse inside, will make its way inside. I promise we'll be on the other side.
That's okay. Let's listen to take two.
Will make its way inside. I promise we'll be on the other side.
Okay. Take two.
Will make its way inside. I promise we'll be on the other side.
This one.
Will make its way inside. I promise we'll be on the other side. The hope we leave today will never burn away.
Okay. Like that. Listen to the second take.
The other side. The hope we leave today will never burn away.
Not bad. That's very clear.
The other side. The hope we leave today will never burn away.
Okay. Second one's clearer.
The other side. The hope we leave today will never burn away. I'll never leave you all alone in vain.
Okay. Let's listen.
The hope we leave today will never burn away. I'll
listen to the third one.
Who believes today will never burn away? I'll never leave you all alone in vain.
Yeah, okay. I kind of like the last one. You know, it's a bit of, you know, it's in kind of in line with the title of the song, In Vain, you know, okay?
I'll never leave you all alone in vain.
Let's listen to this.
Who believes today will never burn away? I'll never leave you all alone in vain.
Oh, this vein is actually good, but it's a bit too long. That's the only thing. Okay. Say same thing. Comp.
I'll never leave you all alone in vain. I'll never leave you all alone in vain. I'll never leave you all alone in vain.
Okay. So, gonna keep just with the last take first lah. Okay. Keep in mind KIV, all right? Maybe I want to use it. Okay. I like the vein from this, but it's a bit too long. But actually, maybe let me try this and see, okay? We can always. Now, I'm supposed to actually show you this later on, right? The pitch correction and pitch editing. But just very quickly, let me just try this first. Okay. Vein. Let's keep it a bit shorter. I'm going to just edit it just to make it a little bit shorter, okay? Yeah, okay. Solved. Problem solved.
I'll never burn away. I'll never leave you all alone in vain.
Problem solved, okay? All right. Miracle of modern technology, okay? Now, I'll go a little bit more detail about the pitch correction and editing later on, okay? We move forward first. All right. Hey, Hazim. Okay, we're going to go to second verse, all right? All right, so again, second verse to pre-chorus, right? A couple of takes, lah. All right, so whenever you are ready, just let me know. So coming out of the chorus, then just going into the verse, lah. So with this, you don't need to sing along because verse is a totally different feel, different dynamic. Okay, here we go.
Who believes today will never burn away? I'll never leave you all alone in vain. It's time to let go. It's time to heal your sorrows. Can you tell yourself apart? All these broken mirrors, feel the love of fears. Will try to let them down. 'Cause all I can say is you got nothing to lose, so run away. Will you carry on for me?
All right, okay. Your pre-chorus is always no problem, man. Somehow, you know, it's always perfect over there. Right? Really cool. Just the entry was a little bit shaky. You kind of felt it also, right? Yeah, yeah. So, right. So sometimes with some singers, they kind of know themselves, and that's great. It's very, very great with some. But maybe there's some who are not so experienced, right? Sometimes you need to point out to them, you know. But right, but you could hear, you could kind of feel it, right? Yeah, right. So that's great. It's always great if you can work with a singer who already knows on you, right? Sometimes there's this kind of communication. They already, you look at them, they look at you. Okay, you already know already. Okay, all right. So let's just try that. It's only the first half. The quiet bit was a little shaky lah in pitch wise. Okay, other than that's good. Okay, now okay, stand by, huh? Okay, now because this is overlapping a little bit, so now I could either leave it like this, but to make it a little bit easier, organized, let me put it and record on a separate track lah. Okay, so easiest way to do is just to duplicate. Okay, now make sure, of course, let's delete all this. So when you duplicate a track, what happens is that all the other, your routing, your plugin settings, everything also is duplicated, you see? So it's easier lah, all right? Instead of having to create new track and all that. So this is just a workflow shortcut. Okay, let me rename this. Okay, take away this little D. The D means duplicate. Clean up the lines and okay, let's go, right? Take 2 for verse. Okay. Right, okay, right. First half is sounding much better, right? Second half of the verse, I kind of like the previous one. This one, the second verse is a little bit more hopeful, right? Yeah, it's a little bit more positive. The first one is a little bit dark, a little bit more sad, right? But you see, this is in the production, songwriting in production. Okay, so the second verse is a little bit more hopeful. You know, the song is building up a little bit more positive sounding. So here, you know, maybe when you get to the all of your fears, all that thing, there needs to be a little bit more semangat lah. Yeah, you know, a bit more semangat. I think you don't need to record the pre-chorus because I think we got a good one. Plus, we can always just copy and paste from the first one because otherwise, you know, you're going to tire your vocal out singing the high lines, you see. Okay. Plus, your pre-chorus is no problem anyway. Let's go for another take with the verse. Yeah, second verse. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yep, sure. Yeah, that sound a bit too light. Yeah. So now second verse a bit stronger already lah. Okay. You're like how you did the previous one was actually good. Okay, let's try another one. Here we go. Okay, let's just do one more and see. Okay, right away. Okay, that was good as well. Okay, the entry first half can maybe a little bit lighter. Halfway between the previous one and the one before that. So, because this one is like maybe the one you just did was like a 7. The one before that was like a 4, maybe about 5 or 6. Okay. All right, so the intensity lah, right, is there, but not so much. Okay, here we go. 3, 4. Nice. Okay, nice. Okay, very nice. Okay, let me take a listen. First half, I like the first half of that. Second half, I think we got a good take from earlier already. Okay, let's listen back to it. And okay, take 5 again as usual. Right, let me comb through this. So let's listen. Okay, I think it's a matter of just a case of taking from one half and then taking the other half lah. Okay, pre-chorus. Let's trim this and organize this first. Okay.
Take a step to let go. Time will heal your sorrows. Can you tell yourself apart?
I like the last line from this actually. So mentally, I had that in my mind, okay? You know, because I remembered this line. I really liked it. So
Take a step to let go. Time will heal your sorrows. Can you tell yourself apart?
it's also not bad.
Take a step to let go.
Listen to this first.
Take a step to let go. Time will heal your sorrows. Can you tell yourself apart?
Listening.
Take a step to let go. Time will heal your sorrows. Can you tell yourself apart?
This one sounds more continuous lah. All right, it sounds a bit more continuous. So let's go with the take two. All right, because that was kind of my favorite. Let's go with this first take first.
Take a step to let go. Time will heal your sorrows. Can you tell yourself apart? From all these broken mirrors filled with all your fears, will you try to let them out?
That's very nice. Just the first line from there, okay? But let's explore first.
From all these broken mirrors filled with all your fears, will you try to let them out?
It's very good as well. Very nice also.
From all these broken mirrors filled with all your fears, will you try to let them out?
Let's listen to the fourth one.
From all these broken mirrors filled with all your fears, will you try to let them out?
Okay, right. So I'm kind of torn. Some of it's pretty good.
From all these broken mirrors, 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 from all these broken mirrors,
Okay.
from all these broken mirrors filled with all your fears, will you try to let them out?
Okay, listening to this.
From all these broken mirrors filled with all your fears, will you try to let them out? It's all I can say.
Okay, listening to this again one more time, all right? Just listening to the verse, yeah?
Take a step to let go. Time will heal your sorrows. Can you tell yourself apart? From all these broken mirrors filled with all your fears, will you try to let them out?
Yeah, okay. So you can see the kind of a dynamic build up, you see? So the first line is you know, it's still a bit softer, but stronger than the first verse. Then when it gets to the high notes, right, you know, you get that there's a bit of dynamic variety lah. So it's not so flat. So it's a little bit more interesting that way. So let's just pull this one. Now I know this is the pre-chorus I want. 40.
All I can say. From all these broken mirrors filled with all your fears, will you try to let them out? It's all I can say. 'Cause you got nothing to lose, so run away. Will you carry on for me?
Okay, very, very nice. Okay, that's very, very nice. Okay, right. So, right, just hang on in there, yeah. Right. So, right. So this copy and pasting thing, all right, it's gonna work. It works in this case because again, because of the drummer. The drummer is really, really, really tight. So if sometimes with some situations you, as with the guitars last week, sometimes if you copy and paste from one section to the other, you might find that you might find that when you copy something, it doesn't lock. The groove doesn't lock because you're dealing with human. You're a human drummer. This is not a program. It's not MIDI drums. So maybe a little bit of imperfection here there. There is a little bit, one or two lines which is a little bit more laid back to the drums, but again, because we're dealing with a real live drum part, you see, I didn't copy and paste the first chorus of the drums there. It was all from that one single performance. So there's just one or two, right, which I will need to edit and tighten up lah, but it's not something I need to do now, okay? Let's go into the bridge right now. So there is this part which is like a kind of like a choir, like a humming kind of a part. So what we're gonna do is this one, I think we would kind of layer it at least maybe 2 or 3 times. Right, I'm going to set up the tracks first. Okay, this will need to be, let's put 4 tracks. Okay, let's put 4. Right, stand by, hang on, just setting up the tracks. Okay, let's go for B vocal 1. So here, B here, you know, meaning bridge lah, okay? So bridge vocal 4, right. Let's just go for it, okay? Coming out of the chorus, 92. Okay, that's fine as well. You can, that's fine as well. You can have a little bit of a tail at the end, right? Because I can always fade that out later, okay? We'll do one more and see, okay? Nope. Okay, very nice. Okay, this is a lot more natural because I can always fade out. But you know, if you do it naturally, it's more natural lah. Okay, okay. Let's do for layer 2. Take 2. Very good. Okay, all right. Can we punch in the first one, the earlier one? The entry was a little shaky. What you can do sometimes, just for the benefit of the students, so they know. So for some vocalists, they will find it easier to pitch. What you can do is a studio technique lah. Right? You can always hum the note first before you come in. So you can always in your head or very softly, you can ha, ha, ha. And then when it comes time, ha, it's easier than having to keep quiet and then and try to hit the note, see? So you can always hum it beforehand lah, okay? So if you're working with some vocalists, if they're having trouble hitting the first note, right? Just ask them to sing along, hum the first note, da 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 da, get the first note, and ha, that's easier that way. Okay, let's just punch in that one. Okay. 1, 2. Very good. Okay, that's all we need, okay? Now, just give me a... Okay, let's give a second. So now there's actually a harmony to this, right? Okay. Okay, let's go for the harmony one. Okay. Okay, okay, rolling. All right, okay. Entry was the first note, right? Was a little shaky. So you can hum a little bit lah. Yeah, yeah. So you can 3, 4, yeah. Okay. Same vowel lah. Right? Right. Okay, here we go.
I'll never leave you all alone in vain.
Okay, very good. Quickly, let's double that. Okay.
I'll never leave you all alone in vain.
Okay, very good. Okay, right. Just give me a second. Okay, right. So we have double tracked this, and now here's a kind of a little bit of a trick lah to if you want to get a little bit more layers. So for example, in this kind of situation where this is the exact same thing, can you guys guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to duplicate the tracks and do what we call I call it the crisscross crisscross method. Okay, so let me take, for example, the main line. Let's take the first one. This is the first track. Let me duplicate it. So you get 2. So what I'm going to do is, let's throw this one away. So because these are 2 separate takes, what I can do is, I can drag this here, exactly 4 bars, and drag the second one to the first one. Poof, immediately, all right? It's like as if you did another take already, okay? Without having the singer having to do many takes. So let's do the same thing with the rest of this. So you get like so with just 4 takes, you can get up to 8 tracks. Let's duplicate. Okay, we will do the same thing. Let's throw this away, duplicate this, 4 bars, 4 bars, 4 bars. And with this, voila, automatically you got 8 tracks already. Okay. Okay, let's try and see how it sounds like. Okay, just trying to see how it sounds here. Okay. Okay, right. Let's go to the group. So as you can see, I've sent it to the choir group. Now I want to hear in context how it's going to sound. So for this kind of thing, I usually have a preset ready, okay? Because I kind of know what I want to go for. Group choir. So this is going to run through a compressor. This is the LA2A. This is the compressor which I'm talking about. That's actually the LA2A section on that channel strip down there. It's actually a model of this. Okay, so it's only got gain, peak reduction, 2 controls only. Okay, but the important thing for this one is that it's going to be running through a reverb. So this is a plate reverb. Again, this one I will talk a little bit more on the types of effects and EQs and effects for next week lah. Okay. Okay, let's kind of just put this on a cycle. Maybe a bit wetter. That's 100%, that's too wet. Beautiful. Okay. Now let's put in the lower harmony. Lower harmony maybe just only 50. I'm going to pan this only 50-50 instead of wide, hard left, right. Let's blend it in and see. The low one may need to compress it a little bit more. At this moment, this one has got no compression on it lah. Later on, when we mix the time, it will compress. It will be a little bit more even. So this is roughly, this is what we call rough mix, okay? Listen in context. Maybe a bit softer. All right, okay, good. All right, sounding good there, man. Like a choir over there. Okay, so this kind of the duplicating crisscross techniques, it depends lah. You see what kind of situation where you find where you can make use of it. Obviously, it needs to be, you need to have repeated sections. Then you can, and the sections have to be identical, or the line or the melody needs to be the same. Then you can duplicate it this way lah, right? So just from one single take, you can create a lot more tracks out of it. Okay. Right, hang on a second here. We're going to go to the last chorus in a bit, okay? So before we do that, let me just rename all this. Okay, again, make sure keep your project organized. If you can do it quickly while you're doing, it's okay. Plus, it gives the vocalist like a few minutes breathing space as well. Okay, all right, okay, very cool. Okay, here we go, all right? 1, 2, 3. Right, okay. Let's do one more. That's pretty good as well. Okay, let's do a couple of takes here. 1, 2. Okay, all right. Let me listen to it for a second. Okay. Okay. It's actually just that last bit only.
Just relax and die. Will make its way inside. I'll never leave you. Just relax and die. Will make its way inside. I'll never leave you.
A little bit shaky there at the end, but let's try listen to this one. Let's listen to the third take. Okay.
Just relax and I will make its way inside. I'll never leave you.
This is better.
Just relax and I will make its way inside. I'll never leave you. Just relax and I will make its way inside. I'll never. Just relax and I will make its way inside. I'll never leave you. Will make its way inside. I'll never leave you.
Oh, it's always that little bit there. Okay, hang on a second. Let me listen back to this. Actually, I don't mind, you know.
I'll never leave you. Whoa. I'll never leave you. Whoa.
Okay, this one is a bit shaky.
I'll never leave you. Whoa. I'll never leave you. Whoa.
Okay, now, what you can sort of hear actually, you can actually hear the waves tune working. So that part where it's supposed to go, wow, it's supposed to go like a curve. But now what Wavestream is doing, it's pulling it into the scale. So wow, which is kind of defeating the purpose lah. Okay, so let me maybe this line, let's bypass it. Okay, bypass.
Just relax and die will make its way inside. I'll never leave you. Whoa.
Okay, right. Cool. Maybe I think we need to do that last line a couple more takes. Yeah. First two is good. They I'll never leave you lah. Yeah. We'll just punch that in, okay?
Just relax and die will make its way inside. I'll never leave you. Whoa.
Okay, listening.
Just relax and die will make its way inside. I'll never leave you. Whoa.
That's much better, much better, much better.
I'll never leave you. Whoa.
Okay, hang on a second. So let me put the bypass here. So we keep this on.
Just relax and die will make its way inside. I'll never leave you. Whoa. Just relax and die.
Let's kind of go for one more and see, if you don't mind, okay? Let's see if we can get one that's a little bit smoother lah. Okay, here we go, yeah?
Just relax and die will make its way inside. I'll never leave you.
Listening?
Just relax and die will make its way inside. I'll never leave you. Will make its way inside. I'll never leave you. I'll never leave you.
That leaves us with last chorus. Okay, right. Ready for it? So this is the big finale lah. Okay, right. So okay, stand by. Okay, rolling.
I'll never leave you. Never
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Okay, all right. No major issues today. But let's try maybe a couple more takes. Because it's the last chorus, you can kind of maybe push a little bit more, a slightly more energy, but don't overdo it, lah. Right? Because last chorus dynamically we wanted to build. So instead of copying, right, which if in a pop song, right, it's almost always copied and pasted anyway. But in this kind of a rock context, a rock ballad, I want it to build naturally. So let's just try that, okay, and see. Here we go. Let's try.
I'll never leave you.
Very good. Okay. Entry was there was one crack during the entry, but I think that's fine. I'll just take it from the previous line. Okay. So cool. Let me just take a listen to it. Okay. All right.
I'll never leave you. This just relaxes I will make its way inside. I promise we'll be on the other side. We hope you leave today. We'll never burn away. I'll never leave you all alone in vain.
Okay. Very good. Hang on a second. All right. Hang on now.
On the other side, we hope you
This second line, I'm trying to remember the previous take.
leave today. Make its way inside. I promise we'll be on the other side.
Oh, okay. The on the other side on this take is not better because he's got the on the it's like a little bit more semangat lah. Okay.
I promise we'll be on
Okay, the will promise from this take.
I promise we'll be on the other side. We hope you leave today. We'll never burn away. I'll never leave you all alone in vain.
All right. Okay. Listening forward.
I'll never leave you all alone in vain.
I don't like this.
I'll never leave you all alone in vain.
Last one is fine. The one in the second last one, like a little bit drop. And then we just copy that, huh?
Burn away. I'll never leave you all alone in vain. I'll never leave you all alone in vain.
Yeah. Sounds better. Okay. One last thing I will need to ask from you. Now, this is going to be in the choruses. I kind of just need you to sort of double on top of it. So I need to double a left and a right. And this one, you follow as closely as possible with the main, your lead vocal, but it doesn't have to be 100% perfect. Lah. Right? So this one will just go one shot and one go, okay? All right. Okay, and that will be the final lap, and you're almost there already. Okay, great. Coming out of pre-chorus here. Okay, here we go.
So run away. Will you carry on for me? Trust will have to die. Will make its way inside.
I'm panning it to the left.
Promise will be on the other side. Won't believe today. Will never burn away. I'll never leave you all alone in this. It's time to let go.
Okay, excellent. Spot on. Okay, we'll do one more. Actually, hang on a second. Let me listen to it first.
On for me. Trust will have to die. Will make its way inside. I promise we'll be on the other side.
Let me turn off because I copied the exact same settings. I'm gonna turn off the waves tune here. Okay.
Trust will have to die. Will make its way inside. I promise we'll be on the other side. Won't believe today. Will never burn away. I'll never leave you all alone in this. It's time to let
Okay. All right. Let's do one more of this. Okay. Okay.
So run away.
Okay, this one I'll pan to the right,
Carry
so we hear the new take from this side.
Trust will have to die.
Full.
Will make its way inside. I promise we'll be on the other side. Won't believe today. Will never burn away. I'll never leave you all alone in this. It's time to let go.
Okay, spot on. Perfect. Right on the first take. So this is something that I would always do. It is quite normal, it's quite typical. Because in the choruses, you want the choruses to build dynamically, you see. So because vocal has only been that one layer, so in the chorus, it's very often, in this case, I'm gonna double the vocal. So I asked Hazim to double it twice, left and right, okay, so I can split and pan it a little bit to the sides. So not only is the vocal gonna be a little bit more thicker, a little bit more energy, but it's also gonna be more wider as well. You can just use only one if you want, for example, but when you have only one, then you kind of have limited choice. You can only kind of pan it up the middle, and let's blend it in. I'm going to blend it in and see. Okay, I just want a little bit of bigness to the main chorus. That's all, just to make the chorus bigger.
Carry on for me. Trust will have to die. Will make its way inside. I promise we'll be on the other side. Won't believe today. Will never burn away. I'll never leave you all alone in this.
Okay, let's listen to. Let me just solo all the vocals.
The trust will have to die.
You can hear it a little bit clearer this way. So I'm just want to blend it in to make it a little bit thicker. If I bring it a little bit louder, right? For example,
The hope we live today will never burn away.
also can, but now it starts to sound a bit boy band. Because there you can hear now it's thicker. If it's an R&B track or something like that, maybe it will work, right? But in a rock situation, I still want to hear it's like one lead singer only, but the vocal just sounds a little bit thicker, a little bit bigger, so I blend it in underneath. So it depends on style, okay? Same technique, it depends on the genre, okay? So just gonna blend it in a little bit. Let me bring this down again.
On for me. The trust will have to die. Will make its way in time. promise will be.
So this is roughly, okay, this is roughly, let me show you. This is roughly 12 dB softer lah. So lead vocal is at -3. So these doubles are about 12 dB softer, right? So roughly in this situation. Okay, let me copy and paste this over. Now doubles, again, don't really need to get the singer to sing over and over again. You can use back the same one, exact same one. Hang on a second now. Okay, last one. Okay. Another 2 bars. So now you're asking me, we said double all the choruses, right? Except for here lah, this part. Keep it single. I want to keep it single here. Then only double coming. Same thing. Let's copy it. Let's see the last. Sweet, okay. That's it then. Okay, it's a wrap for the vocal. All right. Let's all give Hazim a big hand, all right? Okay, yay, okay. Very well done. So let's take a quick listen to this is again just a rough mix of the whole song, right? With the completed ones. Now, there may be some other post-production stuff which we didn't really show you. Like I mentioned, right? Some of the strings, some of the keyboard parts, I'm going to sort of add on later and sort of redo. But I want to have the main vocal there first, right? So the lead vocal needs to be there. Then only I know what needs to be added on. Okay, so different people have a different approach. Some people will maybe already have all those parts arranged, but I prefer to always kind of put the vocal in first. Then only I add in the additional stuff. Then I know whatever I do, if we decide to, some song you want to do strings, you want to string arrangement, you want to add some other stuff, other parts, you will know that it's there to support the vocal and not overshadow it. Okay, so sometimes there are some productions which maybe I just record, right? Or I work with some other producers, and whenever there's sometimes string parts, right? Okay, that they write before. Very often, when they don't take into account, they don't consider the main vocal, the lead vocal. They write the part just like, wow, it's beautiful, everything beautiful, super technical. The runs are like beautiful, but then it's fighting with the vocal. It fights with the vocal. It's stepping over the vocal. It's like it's trying to draw attention to itself, saying like, hey, pay attention to me. Hey, wow, I got friend. The arranger lah. Usually is the arranger lah. Okay. Very often, usually those especially new graduates from the music school lah, okay, or the university. Well, pay attention, see my string arrangement, very chunky, very sophisticated. Okay, but usually when I work with the more experienced arrangers, right, I can people like Eddie Mazuki, Helen Yap, all these people. You see that their parts are very, very simple. They work very, very nicely. They support the vocal. They support the song. They're not there to try to shine and try to show off your technical skill or your knowledge. So it really helps to support it. So that's why it's important to have the vocal first. So, with the coming weeks, we'll probably have a little bit more stuff lah. I might even add in some more synths, or maybe, a little bit more, maybe even some percussion or some stuff like that, we'll see how it goes, right? This is more of the more post-production work, which I'll usually do it back in my studio lah, right? Not really going to show you here. So let's take a quick listen to it. But before I do it, let me just balance one more thing. Again, I want to hear how it is in context, okay? So let me probably bring this down to 3.5 and minus 3.5. Okay, minus 3.5. Okay, that's better. Okay, so as I mentioned, I have some effects, right? Some effects on it, a little bit of delay, a little bit of room sound on it, but I want to play around a little bit more. This actually kind of goes into mixing already, all right? But I just want to do it now so I know how in context it's going to work. So in the choruses, what I want to do is I want to add a stereo delay, okay? So let me just very quickly do that. Okay, tempo, I think this needs to go to half notes. Maybe this one can be a half triplet. Okay, very cool. This needs to be a little bit longer. Oh, let's unlink this. This needs to be a bit long. Cool, right? So there it's bouncing a little bit, okay? So I'm going to add this stereo delay in the chorus. Automate it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, right. So when getting out of the chorus, it should not be there already lah. Okay, let me pull this group down so it's easier to see. This should probably come in. Actually, I'll come in on that last note. See? So you get that kind of a bouncing stereo thingy. This again, I'll talk a little bit more next week when we go into the mixing stage, but let me just fine tune a little bit more. Okay, where did the vocal group go? Okay, because it follows the arrangement, it goes here already. Hold on now, a few more things to tweak. Let me tweak this. Okay, just to hear in context. Okay, let's just leave it on here lah. Okay, cool. Let's take a listen from the top, all right? Sweet. 1 dB down.
Cigarettes you light up, burn the skies you fight for. Is there nothing left to drown? The vacant streets in your eyes fill the nights with bright lights, and moments filled with city sounds. It's all I can say. You got nothing to lose, so run away. Will you carry on for me? Trust relaxes inside, its way inside. I promise we'll be on the other side. Hope believes today will never burn away. I'll never leave you all alone. Seek a step to let go, and time will heal your sorrows. Can you tell yourself apart from all these broken mirrors filled with all the fears? Will you try to let them out? It's all I can say. You got nothing to lose, so run away. Will you carry on for me? Trust relaxes inside, its way inside. I promise we'll be on the other side. Hope believes today will never burn away. I'll never leave you all alone in
Definitely hear more string parts. You know, they have to build up this climax. Maybe some string arrangement there.
Relax and die, will make its way inside. I'll never leave you. Just relax and die, will make its way inside. I promise we'll be on the other side. Hope believes today will never burn away. I'll never leave you all I'll never leave you all alone in vain. I'll never leave you all alone in vain.
This end there, the last hit definitely is some kind of a some kind of sub bass sample down there, like boom, something like that. You know, so it feels like those THX movie, boom. If you listen on the full range system, Okay, cool. All right, so great job, okay, by Hazim. And of course, you're right, this wraps up all the recording sessions, okay? So I guess, right, big thank you to you and the rest of the boys as well, okay, because they have been coming every week. They have, like, you know, given their time. Well, all of us have, right, given their Saturdays away. But the band has been coming in for the past 4 weeks, every week, and then coming in and doing their parts, lah. So, right, we really want to appreciate it, right? Let's again, right, say a big thank you, right, to you. I want to say a big thank you to you and the rest of the guys also for putting in the time and effort on this, lah. Okay, so let's this brings us the end of this session. We're gonna go and I'm gonna talk a little bit more about vocal editing and some of the pitch correction, which I'm going to show and demonstrate to you after this. Okay, All right, see you back real soon.